Hey guys, welcome to another Friday nutritional tip. We'll get this thing started in about 1 minute. Let people some jump on. If you're jumping on now, go ahead and leave some questions in the comments section. I think I can see all comments on here. Um, Whether you're coming in from Facebook or YouTube, I can't tell, but go ahead and leave your comments. If I see it, I'll go ahead and answer the questions. Also, go ahead in the comments, share your favorite snacks that you love to do. We're gonna be talking about reading nutritional labels at a really basic level. So this is coming at you as someone who, talking to someone who's never understood how to get healthy, working to get healthy, wants to understand nutrition labels, how it all works. Because so often we hear about carbs this, sugar this, don't do that, don't do this. The truth of the matter is, it's funny how I talk to people and are like, oh, it's too high sugar, but then they're eating all the French fries in the world. Or they're saying, I'm not doing any carbs, but they're eating 150 grams of fat and 3,000 calories. So today I'm coming at you. It's like, hey, I'm going to give you some really basic stuff that hopefully you can start applying to your current plan right now to start going after some goals that you have. And so I'll give it another about 15 seconds, then we'll get into it. You guys can come back and watch this. You can find it on YouTube, whatnot. And so, again, if you're just jumping on, go ahead and leave a question. If you have questions, I think I should be able to see the comment sections. Go ahead, let's go ahead and give people some of your favorite snack options, healthy snack options, maybe some of your favorite meals. If you have a recipe or some, go ahead, drop that in the comment section as well. And so what I'll do is start this off before we get into reading labels. There's something you really need to understand. This is kind of really blew my mind away when I started getting into this whole 11 years ago, right? So there's different types of grades, quality of stuff. So when there's no grade, that's basically raw, unregulated, may require testing for use, right? There's industrial grade for use with non-living devices or for refinement, cosmetic grade, right? Temporary use only within its limits, makeup, stuff like that. Animal grade, not for human consumption. What I really want you guys to focus on right now is food grade and pharmaceutical grade, because the majority of our food on the shelves when you're going to the grocery store is considered food grade. And food grade is like, it's safe, right? It's for human consumption within limits. It's low quality. There's not very a lot of testing. And so when you go to the grocery store, and last week we talked about how nutritional products are getting lower and lower, and you got to understand because prices are going up. And when you go into a store at the middle shelf, typically those brands are paying for that shelf space. And so what they're going to do, they're going to pay big money. So the grocery store puts their product eye level. So when you walk in, but how do they save money? Well, because they're food grade, everything that's on the back of the label doesn't necessarily have to be up to the levels that it's saying it is, right? There's I think a 25% accuracy on that. So they can add a lot of fillers, lower quality food that's still safe, but maybe not the best quality for you. And as they add these fillers, what happens is they can cut costs. So there's food grade and there's pharmaceutical grade for human consumption within limits. It's higher quality. Typically it costs a little bit more, but now you know that you're getting about 75 to 80% accuracy on the label, which means what's on the label is in the product. There's not a lot of fillers. They're giving you a higher quality brand. And so it's really important for you guys to understand that, because as we get into reading labels, I'm going to just focus on three things that you should be reading on labels. Again, this is for like, hey, I just want to get healthy. I want to be an active dad. I want to be chasing my kids. I want to be a mom that has energy. I'm going to teach you those basic things to look at, right? So hopefully that helps. Pay attention. You can go Google it. It's all over the place. And one fun thing to do is like you can just put in Google foods taken off shelves, and you'll be surprised at how many foods that you're eating on a daily basis have been discovered to have something, and then it's taken off a shelf, and then it's where they fix that problem, put it right back on a shelf. It's food grade, right? Lower quality. They can get away with a lot more stuff. It's not it's not under the scrutiny as a pharmaceutical grade. So let's throw that out of the way. All right. So the first thing I want to do is talk about labels. So this is a Snickers bar. It's one of my favorite snacks. I love the Snickers bars. I've learned not to eat them as much as they are. So a few weeks back, we talked about like how many calories are in a fat, right? A fat gram is 9 calories. And we talked about how many calories are in a carb. It's 4 calories. How many calories are in a gram of protein? It's 4 calories. And so a lot of us are like so focused on carbs or whatever else, and it's the same amount of calories as a protein when the fats are 9 calories per gram. And so a lot of people are cutting back a lot of food, and the reason why they're losing weight is because they're cutting back the calories. All right, less calories and you burn, you're going to lose weight at the very basic level. And so this Snicker bar has 288 calories. So you look at the very top, that's going to show you how many calories are in that bar. Let's have some fun. I didn't even think about this. So you have 14 grams of fat in that. So then underneath fat, the saturated fat, trans fat kind of breaks it down what kind of fat it is. I don't worry about that. The only thing I worry about is total fat, because I know 14, let's do this right, times 9 is 126, okay? This is what goes into calories: fats, proteins, carbs. So 126 that. And you look a little bit further down and you look at total carbohydrates, 35 grams of carbohydrates, which is 12% of the Snicker bar. But then what you look at is the fiber, which is good for you. It's only 1 gram of that. Sugar is 30 grams. So 30 grams of that 35 grams of carbohydrate is pure sugar, right? We know the effects of sugar. But again, if you're just getting into this, I want you to understand calories and where the calories are coming from, and then what you should be looking for on a label. Because once you understand how many calories your body is burning on a daily basis, then you know how many calories you need to eat less, right? So again, carbohydrates, 35 grams. So we're going to do 35 times 4. It's 140, right? And so I'm going to show you, again, food grade versus pharmaceutical grade. And then protein, it's only 4 grams of protein. We know 4 times 4 is 16, okay? So together, we have 126 calories from fat, plus 140 calories from carbs, plus 16 calories from proteins. And look, that's 282. So that means they're not counting for something. Kind of about food grade, pharmaceutical grade. Food grade is not to the higher level of standards. So they can add things, they can add fillers. They don't have to show everything really on the label. Now, if I'm working with someone brand new, even myself, I would take just the protein, the total carbs, and the total fat, and work that into my nutrition plan. So if I'm allowed to have 200 grams of carbs a day and 190 grams of protein and 60 grams of fat, guess what? I could eat the Snicker bar and not worry about it because it's underneath everything I need. I just add that to my daily total. All right, My Fitness Pal is a great tool. It's free. You can use the free aspect of it to track all that. So that's a Snickers bar. All right, so understand how that breaks down. Let's go to the next one. And this is one of my favorite yogurts. So I love the Ocus brand yogurts. And so I tell people yogurts are a great source of protein, but you have to be really careful on the sugar intake, because sometimes you'll get like a yogurt, it's protein. They'll label it protein yogurt, and it'll have 8 grams of protein per serving, but it'll have 25 grams of sugar, right? You don't want your sugar over your protein content. It's kind of my rule. I love that rule. It's worked well for me. It's worked well for my customers. But look at this, 100 calories for this yogurt, no fat, which is awesome, right? Carbohydrates, only 10 grams. So we know 10 times 4 is 40, so we have 40. And then we have 15 grams of protein times 4 is 60, plus 40, which we just talked about, is 100, which this equals exactly to the 100 calories. It's a little bit cleaner product, right? It's a little bit easier to track the calories in the Snicker bar. Remember, the Snicker bar said it had 180 calories, but when you added the proteins, fats, and carbs, where calories come from, it came up to more calories than which was actually on the label, right? That goes into the sugar content, goes into a lot of different scientific stuff behind that. So again, if you're starting to understand and want to get healthy, one, get with a coach that helps you understand how many calories you need a day. And then I like to really focus on the protein number to begin with. The protein number is going to help you stay fuller longer. Your body's made of trillions of cells. Healthier proteins you get, the healthier your cells become. And so your body starts operating the way it's designed to do. And so there is just some really basic nutritional labels. And then when you really start understanding it, right? I never teach people macros from day one unless they have a background in health and nutrition, because it can get overcomplicated. But then if you're someone who's really designed and want your numbers exactly hard, then we can start figuring out what your proteins, your fats, and your carbs are, so your body can start adjusting the way it needs to. So for instance, right now I'm doing 240 grams of carbs a day, 190 grams of protein, and then I'm doing like 60 grams of fat. And so it's coming out to like 23 to 2,400 calories a day, right? Which is not a whole lot. But my old Josh thought that would be really low for how active I am. But once you start putting the numbers together based on your activity level and everything else, and you're getting the right amounts of carbs, proteins, and fats, I haven't felt better. And at the same time, what's going to start happening is because I'm eating the right amount of calories, not overdoing it, it's going to start burning away from the fat that gives you that lean, athletic look without losing the muscle mass. So those are two things. Now, this is, a lot of you guys know I do Herbalife. And the reason why I do Herbalife, and a lot of you guys do Herbalife, is because how simple it is, right? To have a great tasting shake for breakfast every single morning, 2 healthy snacks, another shake later in the day, colorful dinner, drink your water. And what it does is it helps keep your caloric intake low, but gives you extremely high nutritional value. So let's look at this. Now, your body needs fats, your body needs carbs, and your body needs protein. So in this, in the far left cut where it says 90 calories, that's for our healthy meal, one of our shake mixes by itself. Only 1 gram of fat, pretty good. Carbs, only 13 grams, no more than a small orange. And then protein, you get 9 grams. But what we do with a lot of our shakes is we add our protein drinks mix to it. So you look to the far right, and we use water in all our shakes. And so if you look to the far right, now you're adding both these products. You're only getting 200 calories. Total fat is only 4.5 grams of fat. Your carbohydrates are 18 grams. And then your protein's 24 grams. Now, the best thing I loved about these shakes when I first started, right, I was like so skeptic for 6 months, was they're not going to fill me up. They're not going to make me feel better. I have to eat food. And what I found out was I was full for 3.5 hours when I was 228 pounds. But not even just that, right? A lot of us are, before that, I was doing a protein shake. I would do a protein shake for a meal or a snack or a lunch and being hungry so much later. The reason being was because it was straight protein. That's all it really was. This, having the fat and the carbs, is going to keep me fuller. But then you start looking at the vitamin D, the calcium, vitamin A. Remember, talk about food grade versus pharmaceutical grade. This is pharmaceutical grade. It's higher tested quality product, which means you can trust what's on the label. And I found myself being full for 3 hours, taking me to my next snack. Realized, man, it's not just about shakes. I'm eating real food, right? If you want to call it real food. Leave one of these shakes in your car on a hot day and see what it smells like. You'll smell like rotten food. And so it really helps, right? To understand that, hey, if you can get a low caloric intake with a high nutritional value food source in your system, you're going to be rocking and rolling versus Snicker bar, which is about that big. Where's my camera? About that big, right? And it's 280 calories, but it's full of sugar. What's it going to do? It's going to fill you up for maybe 20, 30 minutes before your blood sugar crashes back down and you start craving other stuff. So when you're looking at regular food, or when you're looking at what a good meal should be, you need all the nutritional content in it so your body starts doing what it's designed to do. So I just want to give you a little basic Friday nutritional tip on reading labels. If you have any questions, go ahead, post something in the comments section, shoot your coaches a direct message, shoot me a direct message. We're here to help you. We want you to understand that living and healthy and active is the way to go. It just really is. You cannot be the best version of yourself if you're letting yourself go off track and you're always eating out and you're having drinks every single night of the week. Study science. Go ahead, if you're a science person, understand and go figure out what your body does when you're carrying an extra 20 pounds, an extra 30 pounds. Your mind acts differently. Your energy levels are differently. Clarity, all that stuff. Your body's muscles start breaking down differently. And so it's up to you, right? Especially if you have kids, live the life that your kids want to live. Be the example. Start making healthier choices. And then together, we can make a difference in this world. Hey, you guys have a great day. Let's go. Happy Friday.